When many people picture Africa before colonization, they imagine villages, small settlements, temporary structures, little sense of permanence. That image leaves something important out. Across the continent, cities existed, planned, organized, and built to last. They had roads, walls, markets, and public spaces shaped by generations of labor and intention. Stone architecture rose without mortar. Urban centers managed trade, governance, and daily life. Craft specialists, merchants, builders, and administrators all played defined roles. These were not accidental gatherings. They were places designed for people to live, work, and return to. Most people were never taught this, because when African cities appear in history, they often appear only after disruption, described as ruins rather than living places. In this episode, we look at African cities before that moment, not as exceptions, not as curiosities, but as functioning urban worlds shaped by trade, environment, and long-term planning.
Before we talk about specific cities, we need to reset what the word city actually means in this context. A city is not defined by skyscrapers, electricity, or modern zoning laws. It is defined by concentration. People, skills, authority, exchange, and memory gathered in one place over time. Pre-colonial African cities emerged where movement slowed and settled. Trade routes met. Rivers bent, resources concentrated. People returned again and again until permanence replaced passage. Cities organized daily life. Markets regulated exchange. Roads directed movement. Public spaces structured gatherings, rituals, and decision-making. Specialized labor appeared because density made it possible. Builders, metalworkers, traders, teachers, and administrators depended on one another. Urban planning did not always follow straight lines or grids. It followed terrain, climate, and social needs. Walls marked boundaries. Compounds organized households. Open spaces balanced density with access and airflow. Most importantly, cities required continuity. They were maintained across generations. Stone was repaired, roads were cleared, rules were enforced. Authority managed growth, resolved disputes, and protected access. These were not temporary camps or accidental clusters. They were lived environments shaped by intention, negotiation, and long-term investment. Understanding this matters because it changes how we read the remains that survive. Ruins are not evidence of absence. They are evidence of systems that once coordinated people, resources, and time. With this frame, African cities can be understood not as anomalies, but as expected outcomes of trade, governance, and human settlement. They demonstrate permanence, planning, and social complexity long before modern labels, challenging assumptions about what urban life truly required historically broadly. But as functioning urban worlds shaped by trade, environment, and long-term planning.
In southern Africa, stone-built cities reveal how planning, engineering, and long-term coordination shaped urban life long before colonial rule. The most prominent example is Great Zimbabwe, a city that flourished between the 11th and 15th centuries. Its stone walls stand without mortar, assembled through skill, patience, and careful design. These structures were not improvised. They followed patterns shaped by social organization, trade, and environmental conditions. The city's layout reflected hierarchy, access, and communal life. The great enclosure served as a monumental space, while surrounding areas supported daily activity, storage, and craft production. Pathways directed movement. Courtyards balanced density with openness. Stone terraces stabilized buildings and supported agriculture across nearby hillsides. This level of planning depended on knowledge passed across generations. Builders selected stone carefully, shaped it precisely, and placed it in ways that balanced durability with flexibility. The walls were not designed as fortifications in the later European sense. Instead, they marked boundaries, organized activity, and expressed authority through presence rather than force. Great Zimbabwe was part of a broader tradition. Other stone centers, including Mapungubwe and Kami, followed similar principles: elevated leadership spaces, structured compounds, and integrated economic zones. These cities coordinated trade, agriculture, and craft production, linking inland communities to wider exchange networks. What matters is the pattern these sites reveal. Urban planning was deliberate. Architecture followed social logic. Cities expanded because people invested labor, time, and shared knowledge into places intended to last. Stone became the language of permanence, used to express identity, organization, and continuity across centuries, without outside direction or imposed models shaping development broadly. In West Africa, cities expressed order through walls, roads, and carefully regulated space. One of the most striking examples was Benin City, an urban center whose scale and organization impressed early outside observers. This city was not simply enclosed by walls, it was shaped by them. A complex system of earthworks, gateways, and boundary lines guided movement, controlled access, and structured civic life. Streets followed intentional routes. Neighborhoods were arranged around occupation, lineage, and responsibility. The walls formed one layer of a broader system. They were maintained over generations, expanded as populations grew, and linked to roads connecting nearby settlements. This required coordinated labor and administrative oversight, supported by shared expectations about duty and upkeep. Urban order extended into economics and daily life. Markets operated under defined rules, ensuring fairness, safety, and predictable exchange. Craft guilds organized production, training, and standards. Messengers and officials moved between districts, carrying decisions and maintaining communication. Public spaces served formal and informal functions: ceremony, governance, and conflict resolution. These settings reinforced cooperation, memory, and continuity across households and neighborhoods. Cities in this region were not accidental expansions, they were managed environments. Authority shaped growth, maintained infrastructure, and balanced stability with change. Density demanded structure, and structure emerged through systems people trusted. Walls did not isolate these cities from the world, they organized interaction. They created thresholds between private life, collective responsibility, and political authority. This regional pattern reveals a clear principle. Urban spaces thrived when movement, exchange, and leadership operated within frameworks understood by the community. Order made complexity possible.
Across regions, a shared truth becomes clear. African cities before colonization were living systems shaped by daily life, not just monuments or walls. Urban life required infrastructure. Roads connected districts, markets, and administrative centers. Pathways were cleared and maintained because movement had to remain predictable. In many cities, drainage systems directed water during rainy seasons, protecting homes, storage spaces, and public areas. Markets served as economic engines. They operated on schedules people understood, providing places for exchange, negotiation, and regulation. Vendors specialized, buyers traveled. Rules governed prices, safety, and conduct, creating environments where trade supported both households and regional networks. Housing reflected social organization. Compounds grouped families and lineages. Shared courtyards supported cooking, teaching, and cooperation. Public spaces hosted ceremonies, gatherings, and conflict resolution. These places were not improvised, they were designed to reinforce order and belonging. Craft production flourished in urban settings. Metalworkers, builders, potters, and weavers worked in designated areas, passing knowledge through apprenticeship. Their skills supported agriculture, trade, and governance, tying local life to broader economic systems. Cities depended on maintenance. Roads were repaired, walls were reinforced, markets were supervised. Leadership managed resources, organized labor, and mediated disputes, ensuring that dense populations remained stable through continuity rather than coercion. What emerges is a picture of cities as coordinated environments. They balanced movement, settlement, work, and responsibility. They functioned because people invested effort, memory, and shared expectation into places meant to endure across generations. Urban life was not accidental. It was intentional, structured, and sustained. Cities did not endure on architecture alone. Stone could define space. Walls could shape movement. But something else held these places together. Knowledge had to be taught. Law had to be remembered. History had to be carried from one generation to the next. To understand why these cities lasted and why their systems mattered, we have to leave the streets and step into the ideas that guided them. That's where we go next.